Whether you're doing a retreat in your home or actually having the great fortune to do it in the mountains, the desert, I have done it in many different environments. The beach, one of my favorites. So the environment that you do your retreat in is really important, but be flexible. Everything will be a new experience. I did a 3-year retreat in the desert, but I'm from New York City. And I did some retreats in New York City as well. So to me, it's like this environment that is there, but what we're talking about in a retreat is the inner environment of you. And this is the place that we focus on no matter where you're doing a retreat. And no matter at what time you're doing a retreat. Are you choosing to do a retreat for no matter what period of time? It could be a weekend, 10 days, or 3 years. Or are you required to do a retreat at a time of quarantine and things we are dealing with today? So when I think about my experience in my 3-year retreat, I go back to the inner environment and to how to create the immediate space around me. And I remember where I built my cabin, I kind of claimed a very big area, backyard. I had a beach. I had a little stepway through the beautiful flowers. And I also had some gardens of cactus that I planted around as a fence. And this created my boundaries around me. So it's like you have to have this feeling of, this is my protection, my boundaries. And what is that? And then also, what are the boundaries in myself, in my heart? And I think of just today being asked to just talk to you all, hoping you're having a good retreat, thinking the only thing that allowed me to stay within those boundaries, whether it was my physical or my own mind boundaries, was the knowing that I'm doing this retreat for others. And there's no other reason that I would be here. So even to have to be forced to stay inside your house for, because that's what's happening in New York right now, I'm doing it for others. It's not for me. I'm protecting others. And I also think when I'm in that surroundings of my 3-year retreat, I had to think of all the people around me as well doing retreat and having a sort of connection with others around you, especially when you're doing a group retreat. There's a certain beautiful energy that gets passed around of knowing that there are other people meditating when you do. So to be considerate of that kind of boundary helps me to have a better meditation, because I'm thinking I don't want to disturb the boundaries of others. And I also want to be able to have a good quiet retreat. So see, it works just like that. And the circles of protection around you. And have fun with it. I remember doing really beautiful ceremonies, just saying, okay, please do not disturb me. I will not disturb you during this special time. I will learn what I can. I will listen to the teachings, and I will practice for the benefit of others. And there's no other reason that I am here except for to be a better me and a better living example for others. And to keep that thought for a long time in a retreat takes a lot of practice, but it's a lot of fun. Have fun is the most important thing. The fun comes from really having this, I want to do something that's really good for me, and I really understand how it can help others, and I have fun doing it. So there's something about that playfulness during retreat while you're doing your practice that help to, for me in my meditations, because we were doing like 4 sessions a day, which is very typical in a schedule, different timing of each and different kind of meditations. But this idea, if I'm having more of the joyful playfulness of having fun being in retreat, knowing that I'm doing something good for others, then it loosened up, it helped with not getting too tight in your meditations, and maybe also cutting through any kind of, we call it lung, a condition where you can have too much buildup of different air or too much disbursement of air going through you. And so this joy was something that I had to really practice, and being there was work. I mean, you're in a retreat and you're 4 times trying to meditate. It's you're training the mind, and you're also training yourself to be able to do this kind of a practice and keep joy about it, and also knowing that you're doing it, that it's going to really benefit others. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to be sitting there all alone if it's not going to be something that's going to help when you're with someone else. And it's not going to, and this to me was one of the greatest kind of, I don't know if I went into retreat of 3 years with that clarity of that, but it built up where it began to be the thing that you had to do, is to not recognize how this meditation practice that I'm doing for 10 days, for 2 months, 3 years, is for someone else. And I will benefit greatly because I'm doing it for someone else. And without that motivation, I don't know if I could have really lasted that long in any retreat, whether it was a weekend or 3 years. And I don't know if I'm trying to think about how that can even help others who are currently in a position now in New York City where they have to isolate themselves and stay home and create an environment to have some sort of peace with all this distance between self and others. So how to bring these kind of meditations that connect us to others is so important. And that's your retreat. You are doing it. We have so much that we can offer it to help others in this way. So enjoy that. Like, get really creative. You know, get really creative in ways that you can have that practice, feel it really personally, but know how it's going to benefit someone. Someone in your life, think of throughout the entire retreat. Make it really special how you do your practice for others. Get creative and enjoy it. Think of the meditations that you do and how you can really either be focusing on somebody else or also dedicating your practice. Send out everything that you have gained in your retreat to everybody around you and really focus on somebody special. And that helps us to keep in mind always somebody else, because that's why you're doing retreat. That's all I got really right now.